Uh, so like I said, when Barbara Winway and I talked about preparing for today, what were the things that we wanted to share that we feel are important about the smudging ceremony, about working with plant people. So I hope I can share that today with everyone, and that you will feel our intention of really inviting everyone that whatever we do with our plant family, with our animal family, with our stone family, with our crystals, with our stones, that we always do it in Aini, that we always do it in the right relationship through building a relationship with them. Because the smudging ceremony is about honoring the medicinal qualities of our plants, but just like us, plant people also need to be in Aini to be able to share their medicinal properties. If they are gathered in a way when they are stressed and when they are not in their full health and full strength, their medicinal qualities, just like ours, when we are stressed and we are not doing well, cannot be shared in their full potential. So if you today receive any messages from us or any invitations from us, it is the invitation to observe how you live your life and to practice building relationships with all life around you, so that we can be in Aini, so that we can all be healthy and well, and work together and co-create together in the best way that we can. So what is a smudging ceremony? In some cultures around the world, they're called smoking ceremonies. They are sacred ceremonies that use resins of the plants or resins of the herbs or herbs themselves to burn them and then use that smoke in ceremony. And these ceremonies are done in many different places around the world. And even though they might be done in a different way, they all share the same essence. They share the essence that we are co-creating with the plant family, creating sacred space, offering a thanksgiving, and maybe offering a cleansing ceremony to prepare to enter, ceremony to prepare to create sacred space, or to cleanse ourselves and release through smoke all that we don't need in our lives anymore. And I'm sure you have experienced that many different plants are used for smudging. And to be honest, it can really depend on the local plants that are available to you. Yes, some plants such as sage and sweetgrass and palo santo, maybe osha, even tobacco are used because of their unique and universally known properties. Maybe sage might be used for its cleansing properties, or cedar might be used for its properties of filling all the empty spaces, bringing balance, especially filling those spaces that we cleanse with sage, with what we want to bring into our lives to be in Aini, to be in balance. Sweet grass braided in the beautiful braids of Mother Earth teaches us about kindness, teaches us about living the life with a good heart, a good mind, and good actions. Tobacco is used not even necessarily in smudging. It can be offered in many different ways to create sacred space, to do an offering to creation, to Earth Mother, and it is in gratitude for all the abundance and beauty that we receive. So it's truly a plant that is like a bridge between us and spirit, bridge between us and Mother Earth. So it's used widely also, especially in the North America, by the indigenous people. And this teaching comes from the First Nations, from the indigenous peoples of the world. So we should be grateful not just to the plant people, but also to our people family who have birthed these ceremonies together with our plant family, and then shared them with all of us through centuries that they have been using them. In the South America, people might use Palo Santo, and I know Palo Santo is used all over the world. It's a beautiful, magical tree from South America, and in Spanish, it means holy wood. So it's a very respected and honored plant that is used in preparation for ceremony because it's known to raise the vibration. But if you are using Palo Santo and any plants that you are using and you're purchasing them, please make sure that it has been grown and harvested sustainably in fair trade. Copal the same. Copal is a resin from the Boresa tree from Mesoamericas, and it was a sacred resin for the Aztecs, for the Maya, and they used copal to offer the offerings to the gods. So when we use copal, we use it to bring balance into our lives, and it's a resin with a very specific smell when you burn it. And then osha root, chuchupate or angelica root, sometimes they are called bear root, is also used for smudging often, and it has amazing properties for your respiratory health, but also it can be made into teas for digestive health. So when we smudge with osha, we also, because it's so it's used to open our airways, we also say that when you smudge with osha, you invite yourself to speak the truth, speak the messages of truth, because it opens our throat chakra and allows us to tap into our truth. Doesn't matter which plant you're using, it is really a good practice to use the plant people that want to work with us. So whether we are growing our own plants, gathering our plants, or just using the plants that we have at home, before we work with the plant people, we should be very clear on our intention and tell them what you're planning to do, what ceremony you're going to do, so that you can hear their thoughts and who wants to come to be in ceremony with you and work together. And so if you want to grow herbs and plants in your garden, in your home, I would advise you also to talk to the seeds, talk to the plants, and tell them what is your intention, what they would be working with you on. And you will see that they will come, the ones that want to work with you. I remember when I came to this beautiful land, I was so impressed with the red clover, and there was not much red clover around, but I love that plant and I love the tea from that plant. And my friend Susanna told me a year later, after I shared with her how I love that plant, she came and she said, wow, look at all this red clover on your property. It seems that you have been really talking to them and that they have been listening. And so I have a lot of red clover. I have lavender, I have lemongrass and chamomile. I love working with chamomile, rosemary. So, and of course, those are the plants in my garden. But also, if you go and pick up and gather plants from the wild, I would suggest the same thing. If you're going out in the meadows, in the woods, state your intention, create sacred space, expand folds of your viracocha and say, I'm here to work with you, plant people, invite them to speak to you, state your intention, I'm going to do smudging to create sacred space, or whatever your intention is, and then you will be called to the ones that want to come with you. We don't have to use sage or sweetgrass or Palo Santo for smudging. We can use the plant people that come and work with us. And because in that collaboration, when the intention is clear, we can truly co-create and bring beauty and love and peace and Aini, the right relationship in everything that we do. So I think that our message is clear, that if you're planning on working in this way with the plant people, consider asking whether some of them would like to be grown by you. If you're gathering them in the wild, make sure to state your intentions and come in a sacred way so that you can be clear to listen to their voices and make sure that you hear their voices and that you know what they would like to do with you. So when we speak about smudging ceremony, please remember it is not just the opportunity to cleanse ourselves, which is absolutely a great use of the beautiful ceremony, but it is truly also a ceremony where you can honor the sacred directions, where you can offer thanksgiving and then prepare yourself for ceremony. And it can be done individually, also in a group, and even sometimes the smell of the smudge places us in the right place for the ceremony when we start burning the herbs or the resins that we are using. So when you state your intention, make sure to keep it through the ceremony. And we usually always smudge ourselves first. We light the plants and then wait until they are burning with smoke, not in the open flame. And today we will demo Smudging Blessing that I learned from Wind Daughter, how to smudge ourselves and others. And in that process, we can also create sacred space. And if you are in ceremony in a gathering and you smudge others, I would always consider asking other people kindly for permission if they want to be smudged. And we often fan the smoke either with our hands or with feathers, or if we have different fans, so that we can bring the smoke to the people we are smudging, to ourselves. And when we do the smudging ceremony, you will notice that we truly do it from the head, arms, shoulders, neck, our torso, our legs, and especially if we are smudging others, we can do that from their front, from their back. We smudge our tools, everything we work with as we prepare for the ceremony, whether we're doing a fire ceremony, a gathering ceremony, a pipe ceremony, we use smudge to prepare ourselves. So that is what I wanted to share with everyone, and I will now share the video from the Knowledge Keeper Debra Courchene and her granddaughter, where they speak about the smudge, so that we hear from the elder about this beautiful ceremony that they have taught us. And I will, I will share smudge. Oh, let me just make sure. Carter, let me make sure. Sorry, my dog is. Let me make sure I share the sound too. Can you hear? Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
I learned a lot from her. I've learned how to smudge from her, how to sing from her, how to play drums, how to pick medicine, how to walk in a good way. As we light up our sage, we roll it into a ball, and we use a match to light it up at the bottom. And you never want to blow on it, because that's blowing your spirit away. So you always just want to fan on it, or you could get a fan like this one.
An eagle feather.
An eagle feather and fan it.
My understanding is the teaching is that I should be using a match, one light, one creator. I light this sage with the match. I don't blow on the sage. I clean my hands. I prepare myself like I'm washing. I'll smudge my being so that I walk through life in a good way.
And when you smudge, you want to make sure you're thinking good thoughts and that you're praying. Smudge your mouth to speak good things, your eyes to see good things, your ears to hear good things, and your heart to feel good things. And then the rest. They say miigwech, for thank you, miigwech.
We take the time to smudge to clean the air around us. We take the time to smudge ourselves. We smudge ourselves daily, every morning. If I'm having any kind of issues happening, difficulties, or I'm not feeling quite centered, I'll take the time to smudge myself. What it does is it allows for me to be able to get rid of anything negative that I may have picked up, and then it replaces it with that positive energy. We have been given as Indigenous First Nations people medicines to be able to carry us. Those are those 4 main medicines, which is sage, sweetgrass, cedar, and of course the first medicine, which is that tobacco. I myself won't pick my own medicine, right? And or with somebody that I trust, right? When you take the time to go, there's a preparation that happens with these medicines. You don't just go and pick without giving something back. You take the time to take your tobacco. You speak to the Creator. You talk to that medicine. That's my understanding on it. And I don't know if you were in a bad mood when you picked the medicine or what you were thinking. I'm not going to say that somebody else's way is a wrong way, but this is the way that I was taught, right? And so no, I myself wouldn't be going to the store to get it.
Thank you. Thank you, Grandma. Thank you, beautiful granddaughter, for this beautiful wisdom. So I invite you now to gather your tools and let us enter into the Smudging Blessing ceremony, through which we will smudge ourselves, but also create sacred space to experience how our invocation can be sent through smudge. Today, I'm gonna be smudging with a mixture of white sage and cedar that I prepared earlier. They both wanted to come in this ceremony and share with us. So I invite you to take a moment, and if you have multiple herbs for smudging, take a moment to speak with them, ask them whether they want to come and which ones want to come. And then whenever you're ready, light your smudge. I also have matches. I don't like buying the lighters because there's a lot of plastic and they don't work very long. So I'm going to use my shell today, and I'm going to bring the match to the sage and the cedar in the bowl. And if you have, depending where you live in the world, remember, please, you don't have to use white sage, you don't have to use cedar. You use the plants that are local plants, that are the ones that know the land, that work with the land, that work with you. So feel free to experiment and build those relationships and learn about the plants around you, and learn how they want to work with you. Oh, I forgot my fan. Oh, I think I'm gonna use today my turkey vulture feather. I love working with the energy of the turkey vulture because turkey vultures and vultures in general, they really help us clear ourselves. They're such amazing scavengers, and they teach us how to scavenge in our lives everything that we don't need and nourish ourselves through that. So I'm gonna bring this much to myself. I have already smudged earlier all my tools, so I'm ready to offer this smudge to all the forces above us, to all the guardians and keepers above us. And I invite you to offer your smudge at the same time as I do. And just see the smoke as it's coming up in the honoring of the guardians and keepers of the direction above us. And you can do the invocation and call in the guardians and keepers that are for you, above you. Or you can simply state your gratitude for all the guardians and keepers above you. And you can open yourselves to feel who is going to come to you today from above. Again, state your intention and your gratitude for your support of all the ones that come from above us. I also encourage you, as you do this, to maybe write down who has come today from the direction above. And then I offer this smudge to guardians and keepers below us. Of course, Pachamama, our Earth Mother, is below us. But below us is all the beautiful interconnectedness of all our relatives from around Earth Mother. So you can call on her, offer her your gratitude, call on her, or any of the relatives that you are connected through Pachamama, or simply open yourself to see who's going to come to you today, to work with you today from the direction below. I invite you to turn to your left. For me today, on my left is the east direction. So I'm going to offer this smudge to the guardians and keepers of the east. And I will simply open myself to see who's going to come from the east to join me today in the ceremony. If you feel more comfortable, you can call in your guardians or the guardians that you usually call from the east to come and be with you. The next, I'm going to honor the direction in front of me, the south direction. I'm going to offer this smudging gratitude that whenever I call, they come. Again, you can invoke specific guardians and keepers, or just open yourself and see who's going to come today from the south direction to co-create with you. I turn to my right. Today it's the west direction. And I'm going to offer this smudging gratitude for all the guardians and keepers of the West. Self, to see who's going to come today to co-create with me in this ceremony. And again, if you want to invite and invoke specific guardians that for you come from the West, please do that. I'm going to turn to the north direction. And with this smudge, I'm going to honor the guardians and keepers of the north and say my thank yous for them always coming to work with me and be in ceremony. And I will simply open myself to whoever comes from the north to co-create with me today. To invite someone specific that for you is in the north, please do so. And then finally, I'm going to bring this smudge to myself, and I'm going to smudge my head, my crown, to open that beautiful relationship between my crown, my Viracocha, my 8th chakra, my hands, and all the forces above through our 9th chakra, which is the oneness. So I bring the smudge to cleanse my crown. And because I've set the intention this way, I set my intention and send it up to the universe on the smoke. And then I cleanse my 3rd eye and my head to cleanse my mind for the good mind. And I cleanse my eyes so I see only beauty. I cleanse my ears so that I hear only beauty. I bring smoke to my mouth and my throat so that I speak only beauty and my messages are only of beauty. I bring this smoke to my shoulders to release all the burdens, all the things that I don't need anymore. I smudge my hands and my arms so that everything I touch in beauty. And then I bring this smoke to my heart. So I feel only love, only Munay, the universal love for everyone. And then I bring this smudge to my solar plexus so that I see myself in beauty, in love, and in that find empowerment. And then I bring this smudge to my soul, to my belly center, my jankai, my center of action. So good mind, good heart, good actions. And finally, I bring this smudge to my root center and to my legs and my feet. So that I'm always connected to Earth Mother below and that we walk in beauty. Beauty below us, beauty above us, beauty in front of us, beauty behind us, beauty to the left of us, beauty to the right of us, beauty inside of us, and beauty all around us. Oh, all my relations, thank you, thank you, thank you, all the teachers, and thank you, plant people, for coming to be in this ceremony. So just to clarify, today we have used the smudging blessing to cleanse ourselves, but also to create sacred space and to bring in the forces, the guardians and keepers of the directions. And we also offer gratitude with each direction. But please use the smudge in the way you are guided to, and in the right relationship, in line with the plant people and all the forces around you. I hope